Okay, if you've ever been in charge of a team, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's like walking a tightrope. If you lean too far one way, you're a pushover, but lean too far the other way, and suddenly you're the office dictator. It's this classic leadership struggle, right? But what if finding that perfect balance wasn't just some mysterious art? What if there was actually a formula for it? Well, we're going to break that down.
So let's just get right to it. When you really think about your management style, which one are you? A pushover or a tyrant? It's a tough question, I know, but being super honest with yourself about where you naturally lean, that's the absolute first step to becoming a leader people actually want to follow.
Because here's the thing, either extreme is a fast track to failure. If you're too friendly, you know what happens? People start taking you for granted, and standards just start to slide. But if you're too firm, you end up creating this culture of fear where nobody wants to speak up or try anything new. Both of these paths lead to what our source material calls managerial deficiency.
Right. What if that whole tightrope analogy was wrong? What if it's not a choice between two terrible options? What if there's a third way? A framework that helps you find that solid ground in the middle?
That's exactly what we're digging into today. There's this simple but incredibly powerful principle that helps you find that leadership sweet spot.
So how do we escape this dilemma? Well, the solution is a really elegant principle, and it's known as the 3 Fs.
That's it. Friendly, fair, but firm. 3 simple words, but when you hold them in perfect balance, they create this amazing foundation for great leadership. And that alliteration, it's not just catchy, it's a super powerful reminder to help keep you centered.
Okay, so what do each of these Fs really mean in the real world, day to day? Let's deconstruct them one by one. First up, friendly. Now, this isn't about being everyone's best buddy or hanging out after work. It's about being approachable. It's about showing genuine compassion and actually caring about what your team is going through. It's that basic human connection that builds real trust. Next, we have fair. And this is the absolute bedrock of respect. It means you're impartial, you avoid favoritism, and I love this phrase from the source. It means keeping no sacred cows. Everyone, from the top performer to the newest hire, is held to the same standard. That's what creates a safe and predictable environment. And finally, we have but firm. Now, it's so important to get this right. Firmness is not about aggression. It's about consistency. It's about making sure the rules are followed, handling a crisis with a steady hand, and simply meaning what you say. When you say something, people know you mean it. They can count on you to hold the line. Okay, so we've got the 3 components: friendly, fair, but firm. But what actually happens when you put them all together? And maybe more importantly, what's the fallout when you don't? Let's look at the real-world impact. And wow, just look at this. The contrast couldn't be more stark, could it? The balanced 3F manager gets high productivity, a team that's committed and respectful, and hardly any insubordination. The imbalanced manager, they're dealing with apathy, an unruly and loose team, and high insubordination. The results really do speak for themselves. And this right here shows the incredible upside. When you get that balance right, you're not just avoiding problems, you're actively building a high-performing team. You create this environment where people want to cooperate, where they feel committed, and where they feel safe enough to take initiative and bring their best ideas forward. That's the real prize. Now, you might be thinking, okay, this is great for managers talking to their team, but the real power of this principle is that it applies so much more broadly. Exactly. You absolutely do not need a title to use this framework. The 3 Fs aren't about hierarchy at all. They're about how you build relationships with people, period. Think about your peers, the people you work alongside every day. Being friendly, fair, and firm in how you interact with them builds stronger, more effective, and way more respectful relationships across the whole organization. It's basically a recipe for a healthier work culture for everyone. And this isn't just some nice-sounding theory. The source material points to huge, successful companies like Michelin. Their core values are built on this very foundation. Respecting employees, that's your friendly and fair right there. And fostering innovation, that requires the firm structure to actually support and execute great ideas. So as we wrap this up, I want you to think about this. Take a look at your own style. Which one of these 3 areas, friendly, fair, or firm, could use a little bit more of your attention this week? Just pick one, because making a small intentional adjustment can have a massive impact.